throughout your career, you've always had another side business or things like that.
Yeah.
Have you always been that way? Was that your plan, or was it just?
No, it wasn't. It was never planned. There are always things like that, like Koala Blue, which is, I had stores with my friend Pat. We used to sing together a double
Pat
act.
Carroll.
Pat Carroll.
Yeah.
We were talking one day and I said, you know, really, wouldn't it be great if they had milk bars here? They're like a 7-Eleven, but they're nicer and they have, you know, the Australian candies and you can get a milkshake and all that stuff.
Oh, Cherry
You
Rock.
can't get milk cherry. Yeah, cherry. Oh, I love them. The two of us went to Australia with not a clue what we were doing again, and we started those stores with just a kind of something that we missed or thought we'd like to have.
Before you got ill, was there any intuition that something is off? Was it a surprise, the diagnosis?
No, it wasn't.
Wasn't?
No, I didn't feel right, and I went to have a mammogram and it was negative. And then the doctor said, let's do a needle biopsy, which he did right in his office. That was negative, but we both felt something wasn't right, so he said, you know, I'd like to do a surgery, and there it was. That's why when I wrote the album Gaia, which was after I had breast cancer, I wrote a song called Trust Yourself, because I think we need to tune into that.
You know, the intuitive stuff, it took years to hone that. Because I think as kids we're taught to think logically first, and a lot of times logic will override your intuition.
And I don't know if men are less tuned in or more. I'd be curious to know what you think.
For men to behave in our culture, a masculine-dominated culture, there's so much pressure to behave a certain way that I think that intuitive skill gets cut off. They have it.
Yeah.
It's just that it gets cut off because there's so much pressure to be a certain thing that we all require them to be. And I feel bad for so many men. You're almost by default like the fifth Bee Gee. You're like the Sisters Gibb.
Oh, Barry. He's an amazing artist.
Oh.
He's going on tour right now. I just spoke to him the other
With
day.
who? By
Just
himself?
Just him. He's great. He's a great singer.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
He's an
I could start
amazing
to cry
writer.
thinking about the Brothers Gibb. Carried Away is
Oh, I love
so
that
brilliant. That signature change. He does a time signature
I
change
know.
in the middle that blows my mind. It blows my mind. I actually performed at his birthday party. I think it was his 30th birthday party in Florida. I think this is 1987 or 86. It was at Club Ovo in Miami.
Gosh, you have a great memory.
No, it's not a great memory. That was one of those things
Yeah.
because I'm a big Bee Gees fan.
Yeah.
When you were singing Hopelessly Devoted on the Academy Awards in '78, you had the flu, you were so sick,
Oh, I
and that
was
you
so
collapsed
sick.
afterwards.
So sick. It wasn't the flu. I had hepatitis.
Oh dear.
I had the one you get from shellfish. I can't remember the number that is.
Yeah.
But I was so sick, and it was so embarrassing to me because everyone that shook my hand or gave me a kiss had to have a gamma globulin shot to boost their immune system.
Oh,
so,
no.
so my doctor said, Dr. Georgie, she was this real character. She was in New York, Italian. She goes, dearie, how many people can you kiss? Because I had to name everyone that I touched that night so she
dear.
could call them. It was so embarrassing.
Oh my goodness.
And I ended up in hospital. Yeah, I was really sick.
You looked gorgeous.
The fever gave me a great flush and a glow, so there was something to it.
And then John Farrar, he produced that.
Yes, my biggest hits have been his songs. He wrote "Hopes Devoted to You," "You're the One That I Want,"
Oh my
"Magic,"
God.
"Suddenly."
Oh.
I mean, just to name a few.
Hopelessly Devoted was added later in the movie Grease.
Yeah, it was.
So you had to
The
go and
end.
reshoot that.
Yes, I shot it on the stage by myself. Just Randall Kleiser, who was the director
Right.
and the crew, and everyone else had left it, which gave it kind of a nice, eerie sadness for
Yeah.
me to be able to film that song.
I watch it at least twice a year, and I watch Xanadu at least twice a year. Yeah. 'Cause
I
it's-
love, that poster of you is hilarious. With the
Yeah.
Xanadu face. Oh, that's a classic. I love it. You look so awesome in it. And the
It's
makeup. Did
funny.
you do that?
No, another Australian who I've been working with for 20 years, his name is Matthew Anderson.
These Aussies are everywhere.
They're
aren't
everywhere. They
We're all-
somehow, energetically, it was just been part of my life.
Yeah. You got a little Aussie clan going on. The
I
Aussie
really-
mafia, we call it.
I really do, and I love the humor.
Yeah, exactly.
Olivia, I love the
Oh,
humor.
yes.
You know, it's different. It's unusual. You know, and I just love everything about it. My favorite scene is when it's at the end. Sandy's turned into a loose woman, and there's a shot of the baseball field where your two characters. One goes, a wop bam a doo bop a bam bam boom.
Yeah.
That thing. Oh, and she's holding her shoes in her hands to jump into the scene. I rewind that over and over because it's so brilliant. And the camp, it's got a knowingness of what it is that makes it so brilliant, and it's why I can watch it today and still get a kick out of it, because it's cheeky and it's fun and it knows exactly what it is. So what is your favorite scene?
All the musical numbers, I think. You know, the Summer Nights is really fun. We're having the girls and the boys mixing together.
It's
great.
So good.
The one that I want, that was also, it was while we were shooting, but it was at the end they decided they wanted another duet. So John Farrar wrote that in like a night.
Oh my God.
And I remember he came to my trailer at like 6 in the morning because I was there for makeup, and he said he'd been up all night making the demo. He said, "What do you think?" And I said, "It's great." You just knew right away it had that incredible guitar feel because he played all the guitars on it, and it just had this energy. I said, "Oh, it's awesome," you know.
And that's in Xanadu too, where the lover, where the two come together like
John
that.
Farrar, he wrote that.
Oh, I love that song. He did that that punk rock song too.
Whenever you go, you're my loser. Yeah. It's hilarious. It's hilarious. And then he wrote the one for Gene Kelly with Gene Sings.
Oh my God. Yeah. I love that so much. Whenever you're away from me. People ask me my Hollywood crush, and I always say Gene Kelly. Yeah. So sexy, so amazing.
Gosh, what an amazing dancer he was. He had that masculinity and that strength. He was incredible. I'd never tap danced in my life. I went and did like 3 or 4 months of tap dancing. And just the thought that I had to dance with him was really, really scary. But he was great, and we rehearsed a lot. And we did major parts of the dance in one take.
Really?
He actually directed the scene where we danced. And it was all in one sweeping camera movement. And so you had to know it, you know?
Yeah.
With the hospital, that was a real passion of mine. Having had cancer, they asked me would I put my name to a wellness center in my hometown so they could draw attention to it. Right. And I was really unsure about it. I asked my mother, she was alive then, she was German, and she said, "Well, darling, if you're going to help somebody, you should do this." So I told them I would do it, and I had a kind of an instinct that it had to have a wellness center attached to it, because that was how I got through cancer. It was doing all the other things that you need to do to get strong. So I said, "I will put my name to it if you will put a wellness center in there." So I went and talked to a lot of government officials and encouraged them to give us more money, and we got it, and we built it, and it's beautiful. And I'm so proud of what is there, because not only do we have a state-of-the-art cancer and wellness center with the best therapy and the best nurses, and I mean for Western therapy, but we have the wellness center as the balance that provides yoga and meditation. And now we're incorporating music into the hospital. We had our first concert last week in the lobby, and all the patients could hear it going up into the floors, and it brings them the patients so much pleasure. And that's a lot of the healing is how you feel, you know. Sorry, I've rambled on here.
No,
but that was very, very important to me.
You've really done your part, and I think you know that. But you know, your music is still so alive, and the movies, and then what you're doing even on a personal level with the hospitals, or you don't have to do that. It's an act of grace. It really is. I'm a huge fan.
And don't forget to subscribe to WOWPresents.